This is Matt for Into Boxing. I'm delighted to be joined by super middleweight John Ryder. John, have you had a good Christmas, good New Year?
Yeah, I mean it's been nice. I've not eaten the food that I should have done. Didn't overindulge at all, so it's good. I obviously had this in mind. Was waiting on the announcement for a while. It kept getting pushed back, but it's finally announced and it's finally confirmed, and I'm happy.
12th of Feb's a huge opportunity for you. Outside of the champions, Danny Jacobs is probably the sort of opponent, the big name. How excited are you for the fight? And could this potentially be a world title eliminator?
Yeah, I'm hearing hopefully it's the final eliminator for the WBA. I need to get that confirmed. But yeah, like you say, I mean, other than the Canelo, this is probably the biggest name at super middleweight.
Yeah. You've been on such a good run. You got all the credit in the world for your performance against Callum Smith. In a way, although it was a loss in your record, many people felt you won that fight and you've kicked on from there. Although you've not maybe had that big fight that you want and you were on standby for Canelo, things are looking up for you now and you're in sort of the best form of your life, would you say?
Yeah, like you say, it'd been nice to really kick on after that fight and get back to winning ways straight away. But it was obviously a slow process with COVID hitting. The first lockdown was the worst. Obviously, I think we was locked up for nearly 3 months, was it?
Yeah.
So then, obviously, you're playing catch up there a bit, and I ended up getting out. I was hoping to get out in September initially, but ended up being December. So just massively overcooked it in the gym and put in a few lackluster performance in that fight. But listen, it was a learning curve, and I'm glad it weren't for a bigger fight. And I mean, things didn't go the other way, but we've got a win there. Then 2021, same again, slow burner to start off with. But yeah, in September time, got another win out in Austria. Was lucky enough to travel a bit during lockdown when other people were stuck in the UK, so that was a plus. But now we're here, and I mean, we sat down with Eddie December time and said, "Listen, we need to get off to a flyer here. Time's running away, and I'm not getting any younger." We had a few names on the list, and I can't remember the names on the list now, but Danny Jacobs was top. I think we were saying about the likes of Chudinoff and stuff, just big names, and he's pulled it out of the bag and he's delivered Jacobs for us.
Yeah, you're how old are you now? You're 33, are you, John?
33 now, yeah.
Yeah, so for you now, I suppose there won't be any, not say tune-up fights, but there won't be sort of middle ground fights. At this stage of your career, you'll just be wanting either world title shots or the biggest names possible, won't you?
Exactly, yeah. I mean, there's no rebuilding process now. It's shit or bust, really. We were doing this or not.
Yeah, and Eddie's pulled it out of the bag in terms of a venue for you. A lot of the times we see people travelling over to America, but Danny Jacobs is coming over here to London and at a place that isn't really known for boxing in recent times. It's more been known for the darts at Alexandra Palace, sorry. So how special is it to have it in London and you're bringing him to you?
Well, listen, that's what I say. Eddie Hearn has massively delivered here. Obviously, bringing a massive name like Danny Jacobs to the UK is a massive feat in itself.
Yeah.
But to get it in London and then at Alexandra Palace, which is in the heart of North London, where I'm from, yeah, it's massive for me.
You'll have plenty of support there as well, I'm assuming. I know Johnny Fisher's done a lot of tickets on the card already, and you'll have a lot of support there. How's it going to feel knowing that you're not going to be fighting maybe behind closed doors and you've got these fans back and they're going to be right behind you for this fight?
Well, it's great. I mean, I've not had any friends or family at a fight since 2019, so it's going to be nice to get friends, or just get a crowd. I mean, there was 1,000 fans in a football stadium in September in Austria when I boxed, so that was a bit nicer. But it wasn't all cheering for me, so it was a bit strange. But listen, it's nice to be back, and just hoping that things stay the way they are and we can have a good crowd there.
Now, Danny Jacobs, your opponent, former world champion, well-renowned, performed at the highest level against the big names. He's quite notorious for how he fights, you know, setting traps, leading you on to walking shots. Have you and the team put together a game plan? Do you know how you'll beat him in your own head now?
Yeah, I think with me and Tony working meticulously. Like, Tony's a student of the game. He's forever watching tapes and picking out bits of it. And yeah, I think Jacobs is a real old school American fighter. Sets traps. He's a clever fighter. But listen, it's one of them things where I feel that I know I'm going to have to be my best to beat him, but I believe I can, and I believe we've got a game plan to do so.
Do you believe you've got it in your locker to be able to put it on him and to potentially get him out of there?
I believe that everyone I've boxed at super middleweight I've hurt, and I've not necessarily got him out there, but I've hurt everyone I've boxed at super middleweight. So listen, if I get him hurt, I've got to make sure I get him out there, because you can't take chances with him.
Now, there's always that carrot of potentially fighting Canelo. I know you won't be looking past Daniel Jacobs. He's too big a threat for anyone to do that. But there's obviously he's the guy everyone in boxing wants to fight, from whatever weight to 3 weights above. Because he seems to be talking about moving up. How big and how much would that mean to you to get a shot at someone like Canelo, who's pound for pound, rated #1 in boxing? Canelo's talked about also, I know he's been on about doing like a world tour with him and moving him around. Could you imagine fighting Canelo in England, in London, or something like that?
Well, listen, I'm the first person to bring Danny Jacobs to the UK. It'd be nice if I could do the double and get Canelo over here. But like I say, there's a long list of people from middleweight to cruiserweight wanting to fight. And I suppose what we're doing here, we're just jockeying for position, getting our names up the list, and just to be in the reckoning. But listen, aside from Canelo's doing what's good for him. I'm just trying to get myself in the best possible position for myself, my family, my future. Whether that be a fight with Canelo or a potential vacant title at super middleweight, then either way.
Yeah, because if you get, even like you mentioned there, with a vacant title, that's a bargaining chip for you to walk into these other big fights, isn't it?
Well, that's it. I mean, yeah, if you can get Canelo in a unification, you're laughing for all 4 belts. But I mean, in time, I'm sure that he might vacate belts and give belts up, and then gives chance for someone else to try out the undisputed thing and belt. So listen, it'd be nice to be part of that as well.
Absolutely. Well, it's going to be a huge fight. I can't wait to be there. I've never been to Ali Pali before, and I know it's going to be a banging atmosphere. So look, John, thanks for talking to Into Boxing. Looking forward to seeing you fight, and yeah, all the best. Catch up fight week.
Cheers, mate. Thanks for having me on, mate. Appreciate it.